Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
It is.
And here we go.
Let's go.
Instagram.
Wait, it's not time for that yet.
No, that's just later. Instagram. Find us on Instagram. Search Wilder Show Pod. If you'd like to email us, email podcast@wildershow.com. The podcast, Wilder Show Podcast, drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places. Also on TikTok now and again. Wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find us. And please like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And we appreciate that. The war. Man, Joe Kent. We have to talk about Joe Kent.
Yeah.
That is a big resignation. I don't care how they're spinning it. It's huge. And if you didn't know what it was, I don't know how you couldn't, but I know sometimes, what I'm paying attention to, not everybody's paying attention to. That's fine.
All of our algorithms are different.
That's right. Sure. Everybody, sure. A director, now former director of National Counterterrorism Center. For the video crowd, for the TV generation, this is like the head of CTU. Okay. I'm 24. Counterterrorism. Okay.
Yeah. National
Counterterrorism Center. You'll hear people in testimony talk about the IC, the IC. According to the IC, that means the intelligence community.
Okay.
And the intelligence community is all of those things. It may be the FBI, maybe the CIA, it may be NSA, it may be some other things we don't even know. But National Counterterrorism, Joe Kent was the director, and he was nominated to be the director by President Trump. So Trump liked him, Trump nominated him, and he got confirmed. Okay. Now here we are, and he has resigned. And I'm going to read. It's not that long, but it's all interesting. It has motion, as we say. This is the letter, his resignation letter to Donald Trump. It just says, President Trump. After much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I'm going to keep going. Just hold on to that thought for a second. I support the values and the foreign policies that you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted the wealth and prosperity of our nation. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting us drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by killing Qasem Soleimani and defeating ISIS. Early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined your America First platform and sowed pro-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States, and should you strike now, there was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie, and is the same tactic the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make this mistake again. Okay, again, we're going to wrap up right here, but listen to this last part. Again, from Joe Kent, resignation letter. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times, and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife Shannon in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people, nor justifies the cost of American lives. I pray that you will reflect upon what you are doing in Iran and who we are doing it for. The time for bold action is now. You can reverse course and chart a new path for our nation, or you can allow us to slip further toward decline and chaos. You hold the cards. It was an honor to serve in your administration and to serve our great nation. Joseph Kent, Director, National Counterterrorism Center. Okay, just unpacking a couple of things. This is a guy, remember, that Donald Trump nominated, that he trusted.
Sure.
Out of the whole country, who would you want to be in charge of counterterrorism? And the president said, Joe Kent. or someone close to the president said, hey, I think it's Joe Kent. And he said, okay, Joe Kent. It doesn't go well for people who defy the president. Mm. So what is it that President Trump had to say about Joe Kent's resignation? This makes my head explode. The president said, I always thought he was weak on security.
What's the problem with that?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. He said, I didn't know him well, but I thought he seemed like a pretty nice guy. But when I read his statement, I realized that it's a good thing that he's out because he said that Iran was not a threat. Iran was a threat. First of all, he didn't say Iran was not a threat. He said it was not an imminent threat.
Right.
Now, what does imminent mean? It means you know what and when.
Yeah.
Right?
Right now.
Yeah. It's like it's imminent. It is coming. So when they say things like it was imminent in the future, everything that happens is imminent in the future, right? Mm-hmm. So the president said it was imminent. The counterterrorism said it wasn't imminent, but that's not even the biggest thing. The biggest thing is Trump says, I always thought he was weak on security. Mm-hmm. Now, one of two things is true.
Yeah.
That either is a lie, that he didn't always think that Joe Kent was weak on security, and he's just saying that.
Face saving.
Yeah. Or he put someone in a very important position, director of counterterrorism, that he, according to his quote, always thought was weak on security. It's not true.
No.
And this is the problem. And we're seeing it again and again, I think. We're seeing these things of, we don't need any help in Iran. We can do it all by ourselves. We're not going to consult with anybody because we're going to get it done. And then shut down the Strait of Hormuz. And he goes, hey, guys, where are all you guys? Come on, NATO. We're always there for you. Why aren't you ever here for us? First of all, the only time that Article 2 was ever invoked from the charter of NATO, and that is where you all join in and help one person that's been attacked or one country that's been attacked. That's never been invoked except one time. You know what it was?
No.
After 9/11, when we were the ones receiving the assistance from other countries. Yeah. So that's not even true. We're not going to put boots on the ground. Thousands of troops are going there. We need $200 billion more in a supplemental. I think what they count on sometimes is, look, you just do it, and then Americans are going to say, well, you know what? I mean, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have gone there, but we're in it. Now we got to win it. We're in it to win it. We have to win it. I don't think people are feeling that way at this time. I don't. I think people are wondering, whose war is this anyway? It's all about Iran. Why is Israel bombing the yogurt out of Lebanon? Because they want to destabilize that whole area. That they want fallen regimes all around them. It's not enough that Israel has 30 nukes. They could nuke the whole, if they wanted to, they could nuke the whole place by themselves. But they don't. And there were so many questions about this. It just makes me crazy. Hegseth and the president were at Dover 2 nights ago. You know, I say welcoming, but being there to honor those who had died, the caskets of those 6 from that plane refueling problem. Hegseth said yesterday, by the way, he really grates on me, but Hegseth said yesterday in his press conference that every family, we met with them, and the president and I met with them and spent time with them and grieved with them, and every family told us, finish this. Don't let their death be in vain. Finish this. Now, first of all, you never know. You're getting one side of the story. But I would say it's entirely possible that a grieving family welcoming their mother, their sister, their daughter, son, in a flag-draped casket, that a parent would say, finish this. But they may not mean keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
They may be saying, get out of it, finish it. I think that's what you're going to see a lot more people come around to, is we got to finish this. Even we talked 2 weeks ago about, listen, you got offensive weapons and defensive weapons. And at some point, you're going to run out of them. You don't have a never-ending supply of $2 million Patriot missiles to intercept $20,000 drones. We don't have it.
Right.
And the president very early on would not say, why are we doing this? Because if you say why we're doing it, then we can track it and say, okay, we checked that box, check that box, check that box. Oh, those are all the things. Let's go ahead and get
We're
out.
done.
He said, basically, he went because he felt like it was the right time to do it. And even now, if you ask him when it's over, he says, when I feel that it's over. What? That is not
a plan.
That's not going to work for most people. I'm telling you. I'm 100% American. I'm for America. Hate what's going on in other parts of the world. But I'm also part of a military family.
Right.
I have a son that's in the service. And so maybe I'm more sensitive to this kind of stuff than I would have been, in a go times, or would be in the future. Maybe somebody that doesn't have that same kind of attachment would feel different. I am not convinced that what we're seeing over there is worth American lives being lost. I don't see that as worth it. I don't.
As someone who's listened to you talk about these things for a long time, I think you also have a record of being discerning at a level deeper than just this is who I voted for. He can do no wrong.
I hope so. I'm not tied to a party or a president, but to principle. And I've told you before, I think there's something off with Donald Trump. I told you that before. He's not right. Something is not right. I don't know what's wrong, but he's not right. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe he's right. I don't. I mean, right well. I don't think he's well. Something is off.
A physical thing. I know we've talked about the physical, the implications of things we've seen, bandages and bruising and stuff like that. But do you think think that it's something that's affecting even his mental faculties?
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I was very nervous when he was so critical of Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. When a guy has mental problems and the guy is clearly incapable.
Yeah.
It does feel like punching down quite a bit to make fun of him. I mean, you can, fight toe to toe when he's fit. When he's fit to fight, all is fair. That's what I think.
Or talk about the ramifications for that kind of behavior in a president.
Right.
But don't make fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was nervous about it. And I thought, hey, be careful. I think you're about to be the oldest one ever elected president. And we saw how quickly, what appeared to be very quickly, things went south for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
2 years before, it was one way, and now, gone. Why do you walk around thinking that couldn't happen to you? Why would you think that? And I'm not the karma guy. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a good idea when he was making fun of Joe Biden, it made me nervous. It was rude. It was bad. It wasn't very Christian. Now, I don't hold him to that standard because I don't think he is a Christian, but that's a whole different show. So keep that email coming. It's not kind. I'll say that. I'll probably edit that out. But it's not kind. I know that. And so I was nervous about it. But you talk about essentially you got to be for the guy you voted for. The danger of Trump cards, the danger of I voted for him or he's the right one. And so I cannot be critical of the things that he does. I know we've talked about this before. It's kind of hard to go back in time and remember this, but I was at a very well-known pastor's house at Christmas time for a Christmas party. And it was right before the primary between Obama and Hillary.
Right.
And after the meal, it was a Baptist gathering, so there was no cigars and brown water on the patio. It was chocolate cake and coffee in the drawing room. And men were over here doing this and ladies over here doing this. And so this pastor said, let's go around the room and let's just say, who would you rather run against? Would you rather run against Obama or would you rather run against Hillary? And this pastor started off and said, I'd rather run against Obama. And so, as you might imagine, all these people sort of agreed with him and said, oh, yes, And I was the last one. And they knew what I did. It was talk show days. They knew what I did for a living. And I said, really, with respect, I think every one of you guys are wrong. I said, really? With Hillary, you can fight about principle. With Obama, if you oppose anything with Obama, you will be called a racist. You won't be able to oppose him in the primary. You won't be able to oppose him in the general election. There will be people that will vote for him to prove that they are not racist. I'm not racist. I voted for Obama or whatever.
Yeah.
In addition to all the people that will already vote for Obama. No, absolutely. I would rather run against. You talk about the Clinton machine and all this kind of stuff. No, I'd much rather run against Hillary Clinton than to run against Barack Obama.
In retrospect, and I know this is off on a completely separate tangent now, do you think any of that existed, though, also running against Hillary Clinton? If you questioned anything, it wouldn't be a policy thing. It would be just you hate women.
Sexist. Yeah, I think that certainly could have been the case. But which is more powerful, the trump card? You're sexist or you're racist? Racist is a huge trump card. I also think there are people that did this. I thought at the time that it would take place. I always thought that there were people that call it white guilt or whatever you want to call it, but really to prove they're not a racist, that they would vote for nothing else. If I don't vote for the black guy, maybe it's true that I'm a racist.
Even if they'd never voted for a Democrat in their
yeah, but
in their lives.
You have basically 30, 30, and 40, 40% independents. You have a lot of people in the middle that could go either way. It will always take some independence to go one side for it to win or the other side for it to win. But yeah, so I think with women, it could have been that. I bring all that up because I think we've gotten to that same point with Israel in this war. A lot of people have been called anti-Semitic because they oppose something that country does. Now, can you be anti-Semitic and oppose what that country does? Yes.
Sure.
Are all anti-Semites against everything the country does? Yes. But can you not be anti-Semitic and still be critical of something the country does? Yes. Just like you can be not a racist and oppose Obama's tax policy or not be a sexist, but oppose Hillary Clinton's idea of the border. Doesn't mean you're a sexist. You don't oppose it because it comes from her. But those trump cards are powerful. The trump cards are there to press you into behavior, to conform your behavior.
It's a really lazy way to shut down an argument.
Sure it is. But it's effective. Because not only will you likely lose those arguments, the very fact that you bring it up is a problem.
Yeah.
People don't want you to bring it up. So a lot of people that have these thoughts, they won't say it out loud. If I say, I saw what they said about so-and-so, they called him a Nazi. I saw what they said about so-and-so. They said that he's an anti-Semite. I think sometimes we've, is it conflate? Is that the word? We've conflated how you feel about Jewish people with how you feel about the country and what the country does as a matter of policy. We have to be big people. We have to have our big boy pants on and know that those are not the same thing. I can oppose what a black lawmaker proposes and have zero hate in my heart for black people. I can oppose a war or participation in a war by a country that happens to be a Jewish country, Israel, with having zero hate in my heart for the Jewish people.
Sure.
But you bring people into compliance. They're making an example of Joe Kent. And I go back to what I said last time. Oh, you know what? I have that somewhere. Well, I'll relate it to you. Joe Kent was on, I didn't see it, but I read the transcript of the part I'm going to share with you. Joe Kent was on with Tucker Carlson 2 nights ago. It was right after the resignation. And he told Tucker Carlson the last words that Charlie Kirk ever spoke to him. And we talked last time about Charlie Kirk was there in the White House on June 18th and 19th. And it was on June 22nd of last year that we did those big bunker buster bombs in Iran. But there was an argument going on that week before about how far do we go? Do we go full scale to war with Iran? And so Joe Kent is recalling the last time he saw Charlie Kirk and what Charlie Kirk said to him. The last time he saw Charlie Kirk was in those 2 days in the West Wing when Joe Kent, director of counterterrorism, was there, and everything was being discussed about what do we do, how do we do it, how far do we go. Charlie Kirk said to Joe Kent, don't let the president take us to war with Iran. Months later, Charlie Kirk is dead.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people wanted to take place last June is taking place right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was no governor. There was no stopgap. There was no one to talk him off that ledge. But what Charlie Kirk told him was, you will lose your base. You will lose your base and the support of the American people if you go to full-scale war against Iran. This is not primarily our war. This is Israel's war. It's not ours.
Mm-hmm.
And you even see the competing ideas of how do you measure success. As we talked about early on, we were all about infrastructure. They are all about devastating that country
Mm-hmm.
to make it a failed state so they can control it or whatever, or feel safe or whatever the reasoning is. But I know the reasoning is their reasoning. It's not our reasoning.
Right.
And there's two more things, and we'll get to scattershoot. I know the whole thing has been on this so far, but the president won't always be the president. Donald Trump will not always be the president. Right. There's going to come a time when Donald Trump will not be the president. And I think he ought to think of that because he's going to need some people that are still in elected office to maybe have his back a little bit. Now, Democrats won't.
You mean when he's not the president
Yeah,
anymore?
I do. Because as we just saw, how long has it been since Bill Clinton was president?
Long time.
Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State. They're called before committees. Donald Trump can be called before a committee. He could have charges against him.
Mm-hmm.
So there are reasons for the president to sort of consider what's the future going to be like. Someday he's going to be called to testify the same rules that apply to anyone who is not the president. Can you be charged with a crime, this crime, that crime? Right now, he does have a bit of a shield up. The Supreme Court even said, but he won't always be president.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to need friends on the Republican side. And the fact that he's doing what he's doing, when he's doing it, the way he's doing it, as long as he's doing it, is going to hurt the midterm. Write it down. Republicans are going to lose the House in the midterm. Absolutely. Might lose the Senate, but I don't think so. And Donald Trump will be impeached again.
Mm.
It will happen. Beginning, they're sworn in January 1st for Congress. So that it will start January the 2nd or 3rd. They will move in that direction right away. Guaranteed. Now, I don't think he'll be removed from office, and I hope he isn't removed from office. Honestly, I don't think it'd be a good idea to have President Vance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've always been for divided government. I've always been for divided government. Mm-hmm. When George W. Bush won and had the House and the Senate and had just won with the promise of protecting marriage, and then he got in there, didn't do anything. And in fact, worked exactly the opposite way. And all the people that he got in, they just rubber stamped whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
There was no opposition. Now, on that case, it wouldn't have been the Democrats they loved that he caved. The point is, if there's no pushback, there's no governor, nobody to take him to task. I know I'm scattershooting on this, but think about this. When Roe versus Wade was the law of the land, it had a galvanizing effect on the pro-life community.
Right.
We all stood up and shouted against it. We were bonded together against it. When I've been overseas many years ago, China and the persecution of Christians in other countries, what they would tell you was that persecution bonded us. We were what?
A common enemy.
We had a common enemy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I wish Kamala Harris had won, but if she had won, you would have had Republicans winning the House, Republicans winning the Senate, and they would have stopped almost everything she could do. She would have been ineffectual. Mm-hmm. You got Donald Trump rubber stamping everything. And I just saw a report yesterday. This would not surprise me at all. There is no way that this will sound shocking. I don't believe there's any way that J.D. Vance will be elected president. No way.
Yeah.
No way. He's too tied right now to the Trump stuff, and the Trump stuff is not going well. And he could pull a lot of this, the president, pull a lot of this out of the fire if he would do something to help win the midterms. But he won't. He won't. He absolutely won't. We will lose the House. That's going to be an albatross hung around the administration's neck. I think it's being teed up for a Democrat to win the next time around. unless something extraordinary happens. It will not be. I even saw that Vance is considering not even running for president this next time, which I think he would have to do to build some distance between himself and the administration he served. I don't know whether that brings, does Mike Pence come back in? Somebody like that? I've never been a huge fan. I mean, I'm nothing against him. I just not particularly for him.
Yeah.
But somebody else, it's got to be somebody dynamic. I got to tell you, man, it's got to be somebody that is hard-edged, I think. And I don't know who that is, but we got to get hard-edged, but it's also got to be an adult in the room. It's got to be somebody who understands the value of reading a speech, the value of delivering a message, the value of not weaving. I weave. No, don't weave. Stop. Stay in the lane. Read the stuff. Smart people wrote it. You can deliver it. Just do it. People will love you most when they hear from you less. Just do the program. So let's just wrap this up on maybe too late, on a hopeful note. If the president can get out of this war in the next 2 weeks, I mean, ideally, we would do whatever we're going to do and get out. And even if it is clear that Israel wanted us to stay and we said no, I got to tell you, I'm trying to end on a positive note, but it's very difficult because there's only so much I can say. The president's got to keep his eye on the ball. Let's get out of this war. We don't know what the check boxes are. We don't know the things being checked off. So just tell us all that you were successful. Tell us that you won and get out. But don't have any more people die over there. And you don't get $200 billion more. He wants $200 billion more for a supplement. And Congress going, could we just ask you to come and answer some questions about why we're doing this? And really, what is the plan? You're already over there. You're wanting $200 billion more. We're spending $2 billion a day at this. $2 billion a day. And we're coming up on day 21 or whatever. I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm commanded to be hopeful, but I'm not optimistic. If the president would just, I mean, when Joe Kent resigns and the first thing the president says is either evidence of insanity, I always knew he was weak on security. If that's true, that's the guy you wanted. And if it's not true, then it's another thing you're saying that's not true. We got to be able to believe the person in charge. We have to be able to believe him. It's not even a matter of if people think he's not telling the truth. If you could demonstrate, you give a list of 10 things. Wasn't true. These two things can't be true. One of these things is not like the other. So we'll see what happens with Joe Kent. I believe they're going to try and charge Joe Kent. I believe they're going to say Joe Kent divulged top secret information. That's what I think. They're going to try and charge him with something. They have to discredit him. They have to call him a Nazi. They say he was snugly with people that were Nazis. Mm-hmm. That's that Trump card thing I'm talking about. You cannot be. The only reason they're saying that is because he mentioned that Israel is the one that dragged us to war. Israel misled us into a war. This is a guy whose wife died in combat. In fact, when she died in Syria, she was the first military death in 3 years at that time.
Wow. There
had not been a military death in 3 years until Joe Kent's wife died in combat. So this is a guy that he's been there. He knows. I'm not saying he's infallible. I'm not saying he is right about everything. But this was his perspective. When you combine that with the Charlie Kirk thing, last thing Charlie Kirk told Joe Kent also being against, and finally putting it on the line, saying things, I'm just going to say it. And he puts it out there and boom. So they're going to discredit him. They're going to try desperately to discredit him. It's frustrating. Okay, it's time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show Scattershoot. All right. Just one more news note. You know that today, Lauren, 1/3 of the TSA called in sick?
Man.
A third. That is 33%.
That is 33%. I'm so glad I don't have plans to go somewhere, and I feel so bad for anyone who's been. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of spring break travel, right? I mean, this is
it.
spring break is different everywhere. Is it spring break here in the North Texas area right now?
I don't know. I think so. I think it stayed around the week of St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Because when the baseball trips we used to go on, we were always out there. It was St. Patrick's Day when we were out there.
There's an elementary school a block and a half from my house. I should know whether or not the kids are in or out. But the reason it matters is because Six Flags Over Texas has introduced a new spring break chaperone policy. And they just announced this like day before yesterday. And they said that it is, in anticipation of spring break. But also I know that a lot of places in other parts of the country, spring break is attached to Easter. It might be the week before Easter or the week after Easter. But they are saying that this is only for spring break season. So this is not going to be the way it is forever.
Not for the summer.
But it's not for the summer, I guess. I mean, I guess they could add this at some point. When you were a kid, when you were going to Six Flags, did you, first of all, I have to be honest, I don't love Six Flags.
Okay.
I've only been to Six Flags maybe 10 times in all the years that I've lived here. And that might, one or two of those might have been because I had to do something for a concert that had something to do with work. But they're changing this policy requiring younger guests to be accompanied by a chaperone. I know that when I did go, we used to just get dropped off there, and you just had the run of the place for the whole day, and it was before I turned 17.
Oh yeah. 14, 15-year-olds drop them off. It's like an outdoor mall.
Yeah.
Drop them off at the mall. We'll see you later. But Six Flags. That's kind of awkward.
Anyone 17 or younger must be accompanied by a guest who is 21 or older, and their IDs will be checked upon entry to the park. Guests 17 and under without a chaperone will be removed from the park, and a 21-year-old can have as many as 5 17 or unders in their care or under their watchful eye
but are they
while they're there.
They following them around at the park and going, "Hey, where's your adult?" I mean, I understand getting them in, but that's crazy. You know what I would do? What do you think my very first thought is?
What?
I would gather a bunch of 21-year-old, 22-year-old college students, and I would rent them out to parents to chaperone the kids and charge the parents. So the parents would, and all the parents have 5 kids. So let's say each parent throws in $40.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good day
you got
for the 22-year-old.
So 22-year-old goes to the park, basically you're a babysitter. You're babysitting 17-year-olds.
I think that's kind of what it is.
I don't like that rule. I don't like that rule.
Why?
What
about it do you not like?
Just let them run. Let them go. Give them the kids some freedom. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. The thing is, though, why would it apply to spring break, but it wouldn't apply to the summertime? I mean, kids, all summertime is a long spring break.
Well, maybe they'll, if it goes well, they'll carry it over to summer.
The other thing,
well, it's 112 degrees in the summer. The 16-year-olds are moving a little bit more slowly, maybe in the summer than they are in the spring.
The other thing is, it does demand someone else buy a ticket.
It does.
An adult ticket. An adult ticket must be purchased.
Yeah.
For the gaggle of 16-year-olds.
So you think it's a money-making thing?
I don't know. I think it's kind of silly. They're trying to upgrade the park. I know they've made some changes out there. Got the new roller coaster out there and some other things.
Well, with Six Flags,
I haven't been in a long time.
Neither have I. And the last time I went when my kids were young. So I kind of understand this.
Yeah.
What Six Flags says is in response to increasing incidents of disruptive behavior across the industry and at other entertainment venues, we're implementing enhanced policies to maintain a safe, family-friendly environment. You'll find that on their website. Okay. I'm in favor of that.
Yeah. Well, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have kids that age chaperoned.
Yeah.
Inside.
Okay.
Like I don't know how effective it
Yeah,
will be.
we'll see.
If you come in, you a 22-year-old, 21-year-old brings 5, 16-year-olds. Like you said, I don't think it's safe to say that they're going to, tail them the whole time. They're going to cut them loose. And kids who are behaving badly, kids who want to behave badly,
They're
are
going
going to
to
figure out a way
exactly.
to behave badly.
I mean, maybe not everybody likes to ride the roller coaster. I mean, I'm going to go over here with this group, and I don't know how you keep track of. We used to have a thing when as a family. I mean, when I was a kid, if we get lost, we meet at the fountain. Mm-hmm. The fountain is there at the middle.
That's a great idea.
So if you get lost, don't worry, just meet at the fountain. And but sometimes these two go do this, and these three go do this, and the girls want to do this and look at this, and somebody else wants to do this other thing. So I don't know. I don't know how you keep those. I don't know how you keep that group together under the care of a 21-year-old.
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast, but speaking to the relative safety of these places and the kinds of things that can go wrong. Many, many years ago, my parents took us to Disney World, and we stayed on site. So all of the parks at that, and this was like in the 1970s. I think I was in 8th grade, which means my sister was in 4th grade. And if you stay on the grounds, that means all of the parks, or at least it meant then, all of the parks were connected by a monorail.
Rail, yeah.
You could hop on the monorail outside your hotel and get to the park where you wanted to be and spend time there, and then hop on the monorail, go to another park, and
crazy.
During that trip, my parents let me and my sister, 14 and 10 years old,
come on,
get on the monorail. Go back to the park. I think I don't know. I think they were not feeling well one evening, and the parks were open until maybe 10 o'clock or maybe even later, well before cell phones, well before anything like that. But my parents were really strict. They were really strict and very protective.
That's interesting.
But they let us do that. That has never left my mind, because I think it speaks to how safe we felt in those parks. How well they were protected, how well they were monitored and maintained. And
it's a different world today.
Yeah, I mean,
different world today.
We didn't walk to school by ourselves.
Really, that's interesting.
At that age,
but in Disney,
but there they
free.
felt like we were safe.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good old days.
I mean, I never liked the idea of dropping my kids off at Six Flags.
Yeah,
I think and they could tell me, they might have different memories of this. I think I was only there with them. I mean, fewer times than I could count on. I mean. One hand, but it's way fewer than that. I'm just not I'm not a fan. I'm not a Six Flags fan. I'm not a fan of Six Flags Over Texas. Not because anything bad ever happened to me there then. Maybe because some of my first visits there were during my first summers in Texas, when I was first starting to acclimate to living in an oven for several months and seeing the Southern Palace show 7 times in a day, because it was the only place that you could. Yeah. But I don't think this is a bad thing. I think if this is going to keep kids safe, if it's going to keep families safe, if it's going to make it a more pleasant experience for families who are coming there, and they do have kids who are behaving, I'm all for it.
I'm sure most people know this, and there are Six Flags parks elsewhere. Six Flags over in New Jersey and different places. Yeah. But, it's the Six Flags started here. And it started here. It's called Six Flags Over Texas. Why is it called Six Flags Over Texas?
Tell me, Uncle Scott.
Because there were Six Flags that flew over Texas. So I think people don't really know Six Flags over Georgia, the Six Flags amusement parks. Okay, yeah. But Six Flags, and in the olden times, you could go to the different worlds, the different flags, the Spanish flag, the French flag, right? Yeah. You had the Republic of Texas. We were our own country. That flag, the Mexican flag, the United States flag, and the Confederate flag. Good luck having a Confederate flag section of your amusement park. But that's why we were the Six Flags. Yeah. Those were the Six Flags over Texas. And so the amusement park is named Six Flags Over Texas for the French flag, Mexican flag, Spanish flag, Confederate flag, Republic of Texas flag, and the United States of America flag. And that is your lesson for today.
So take the kids to, and I should mention, this is just Six Flags Over Texas. This is not a Six Flags wide policy. This is just locally Six Flags Over Texas. But, pile the kids in the car, take them to Six Flags Over Texas, and on the way, give them that quiz and
lesson.
Tell them, they only get to go in if they can.
Name all Six Flags.
Yeah. There's an updated list of America's most popular dog breeds.
Most popular dog breeds.
Yeah.
I have not seen this list, but I would like to hazard a guess or two. But go ahead. Tell me your story.
I think these are the American Kennel Club
AKC
rankings.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't include some of the breeds that you might think are the most popular. I mean, I know what kind of dog I see most on my, sitting in my living room watching them pass by or out on my neighborhood walks. They're not all, they might be like really popular breeds, but they're not on this list. So just keep that in mind. We'll talk about that as we go through.
It is a list of, how do they define most popular? More people have them.
The ones that,
More people have the dogs that more people have. That's interesting. I think somewhere in it probably is, let me just name a couple before you shoot me down. Golden Retrievers probably in there.
Golden Retrievers are in there, number 3.
Let's see. Golden Retriever. Probably
Labrador Retrievers, number 2.
Golden Retriever, Labrador. I may go smaller dog for number 1. Not Chihuahua.
I would not have guessed this.
Let's see. I'm going to say number 1 is the Maltese.
No.
What is it?
I don't think Maltese are even on this list. Number 1, French Bulldogs.
I was going to guess French. I actually was, because for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but they're popular. People have the French Bulldog.
They've been the leaders. They've been at the top of this list since 2023. The American Kennel Club's registry added about 54,000 Frenchies last year. That's half as many as in 2023. So there's some question about how long they will hold their place at the top of the list. The breed is known for being self-assured, apartment friendly, very funny.
They're funny.
There's some concern though, about the breeding of them and they're flat faced dogs. I have a grand dog who is a Frenchie. What else could I call her? I mean, she's so much more to me than just the dog of my son.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But and she is apartment friendly. Yeah. They live in San Francisco.
It's clean.
Well, one thing that is a big thing there. And maybe in other places too, but you've got to watch them like a hawk there.
Are they runners?
No, they get stolen.
Oh, that's crazy. You mean from people just to sell them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
It's kind of scary.
I don't want a dog that somebody else wants to steal.
No.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. So what else? We already mentioned labs. Number 2.
Okay. It's not going to be Dalmatian, nothing like that. Okay. So we got number 1, number 2, number 3. French Bulldog, Lab, Golden Retriever.
You said something smaller, maybe a little. Think smaller.
Okay, not a Chihuahua.
No,
but I would say not a Yorkie or something like that. Let's see, a silky-haired thing. I always like the Cairn Terrier myself.
Not on this list.
I like the Terrier group. Big dog, small package. It's not a dachshund, is it?
It is a dachshund.
Yeah, son of a gun. Yeah, our first dog was a dachshund.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to be careful with dachshunds.
They get spine.
Yeah, I don't know if you know
problems.
if you know what a dachshund looks like, but he's really long, and he's a wiener dog,
and short little legs.
And he had, he had a slip disc.
Yeah. Oh.
And he lost his back usage of his back second half, and we had to.
Did you get him one of those little carts? There's a dog in my neighborhood that
my dad took him to the place.
No.
Yeah.
So
I had to put him down. Yeah, it was my first taste of death.
Yeah.
Was the loss of our dog. His name was Muffin. Yeah. And the weird thing is, across the alley and over a bit, they had a wiener dog named Hot Dog. So it had Muffin and Hot Dog.
You bet you have a hot dog and bun or something like that.
So anyway, yeah. So is it number 4? Is the dachshund?
Number 5 is dachshunds.
All right, what's
I
number
think
4?
Number 4 is German Shepherds. My grandmother had a German Shepherd growing up. My daughter has some friends right now who said they have a 3-year-old, and they said they're about ready to get a dog, and they've brought it down to it's between a golden retriever and a dachshund, which great dogs. And I guess now I see they're up close to each other on this list, but they seem like very different breeds.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of
That's
funny. After the dachshunds, poodles.
Okay.
Then beagles. We got a very
Diggers.
yappy
They're
beagle
diggers.
on
Yeah.
my walk too. Every time this beagle is outside, very, very yappy, cute, but yappy. Rottweilers.
That's odd. They would be so. They're pretty scary.
They've been in the top 10 for almost 15 years.
Son of a gun.
People love their
I
Rottweilers.
guess so.
German short-haired pointers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Come
Yeah,
after
I've
that.
always liked the German short-haired pointer. Love the German short-haired pointer.
And then after that, to round out the list, bulldogs.
Really? Okay. All right.
Do you notice anything missing? Anything that you would think would be there and
dog,
is not?
Maybe a lassie dog. Let's see, poodle.
No collies. Yep, you're right.
No collie. We had miniature collies.
Yeah.
Shelties. Shell and sheepdogs.
No, Australian
That's
shepherds
interesting.
either.
Yeah, that was the whole rage for so long. They're
I'm
everywhere.
surprised by that.
Yeah.
I love. I have a
Aussies.
little
Yep.
Aussie grand dog also.
Yeah.
No doodles. No golden doodles.
Yeah.
Those are the Kennel Club's rankings don't include mixed breed
Oh, there you go.
dogs or
Okay.
trendy hybrids.
There you go.
Like golden doodles and pomskis.
Pomskis.
I didn't know what a pomsky was. Do you know what a pomsky is?
Pomeranian and a Ruski. I don't know.
Husky. A Ruski.
Husky.
A Pomeranian and a husky.
Got it.
I do think that probably I see more doodles on in my neighborhood than anything else. I guess they're really good. They're hypoallergenic.
I think so.
They
Yeah,
don't
people
shed.
like them. People that have them
Kids,
love them.
Good with
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, they're kind of big. They can be kind of big. I've seen other mixed breeds that look interesting, but I like the Vizsla and I like the German short-haired pointer. Those are very clean dogs, short-haired dogs.
Yeah.
But I also like we had 2 toy fox terriers. The fox terrier is a good little muscular dog.
Yeah.
Or the rat terrier. I like the rat terrier too.
We had when my kids were younger, rat terrier Chihuahua mix.
I'll tell you, that's a
Great
good-looking
little
dog. That's a good-looking dog. No kidding.
Very
That
sweet
is-
little
yep,
dog.
That is
yeah.
that's one of ours. You could throw that ball, and I'm not kidding. He would drop dead of a heart attack before he would stop chasing that. He would bring it right back to your feet. He didn't teach him anything. He just knew it.
Yeah.
And it'd bring it right, and he would put it there by your feet. If you didn't grab it immediately, he'd push it with his nose.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on, let's go.
Let's keep going.
I had to stop because I was afraid he's going to, seriously, he's like,
Gonna explode.
yeah. Anyway, good dogs.
Yep.
Good dogs. Dogs are good.
Dogs are good.
Dogs are good.
Looking at my phone a little bit earlier today, and I got the notification that Waymo is now active in Dallas. We talked about this.
These are self-driving cabs, basically.
It's self-driving cars, self-driving I guess cab
It's like a
is the
taxi.
best. It's like an Uber or a Lyft, but
That's
with
right.
nobody driving.
With nobody
it.
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I kind of wait for the bad story that will come along with it.
You think?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of self-driving stuff.
Uh-huh.
I just think there's something bad is going to happen.
I
know
like
we've
it.
been in it. I know
Yeah.
we've been in them before, and everything ended okay. But what if it doesn't?
Well,
if it doesn't?
You could say that about anything.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I trust. I like the human involvement.
If you want to try Waymo for yourself, if for no other reason, then it might be your only chance to ever ride in a Jaguar, which had not even really
That's right.
occurred to me.
That's right.
The only time I ever have been and probably ever will be
Yeah.
in a Jaguar is in one of the fleet of white all-electric Jaguar I-Pace SUVs. that are, of course, equipped with the cameras and everything that you need to make them very safe. But downtown Dallas, city center,
Okay.
is mostly where you'll find them.
But not
It's
freeway?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just going to be off. Yeah, that's fine.
50 square mile area encompassing, like I said, the city center, downtown to Northwest Highway, and also the Bishop Arts area.
Wait. 50 square miles?
50 square miles.
Mama. I would say everybody should try it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, just to say you did it. I wouldn't do it by yourself. I mean, I would do it, have somebody with you. If something goes wrong, I don't know. Something goes wrong.
Like you're going to get taken hostage?
No, I just, we've seen things before where, you can't get out of them, or it's rare.
Yeah.
But we saw a thing where, it couldn't make up its mind. It was like stuck and it wouldn't move. It was stuck like under a bridge on the West Coast somewhere. San Francisco,
I would say take one for a ride, a brief ride.
Yeah.
And let me know how quickly you forget that there's nobody driving it.
Yeah.
Especially if you have one or two people with you.
That's right.
And there's a bit of a novelty, of course. But that's what I've said is my biggest surprise was how quickly I forgot that this is
There's
not
nobody driving this.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the front seat, and so I couldn't forget it. But if you normally take an Uber or something, and when I take an Uber to the airport or something, I will always be in the back seat. I'll be on my phone and doing stuff and checking mail and all kind of stuff. So I'm not looking at the back of the person's head anyway. And I don't like a lot of engagement on my drives.
Not too chatty?
Not at all. Yeah, I had a girl one time. She was a nice enough gal. And she came to pick me up. She got out of the car. She looked across the top of the car, banged the top of the car, and looked at me and said, "I'm a riddle person." I was
and you still got in.
Oh, how long is this ride? I like to be quiet person. You can now put that in your preference. You can tell them conversation, no conversation.
I don't want to chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I have mine set for a cool car, and I don't have a preference on car. I'll talk to people. I'll talk to people. I like I like to be friendly sometimes.
You are a talker. I mean,
sometimes.
Anytime I've been with you,
sometimes
I would classify you as a talker.
But honestly, mainly when someone is foreign, that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
To gently get them to tell you where their people are from.
Do you ever worry that you're going to offend somebody by asking them where they're from?
No, I don't say, so where are you from? I mean, it's like, dude, I was born in Brooklyn. I'll say, I will say, do you have family elsewhere? Or where's your family from?
Yeah.
And find out about that. Okay. Usually I can guess what country in Africa by the way they talk. I think you've observed that before.
I have.
I go, that guy's from Ethiopia.
And it's just because you've traveled so much. You know those things.
So take the Waymo and report back. We'd like to know your experience. I think you'll find it a little off-putting at first, but it's okay.
I like it. Nordstrom announced its Galleria Dallas store is closing its doors.
Really?
It's been there a long time.
It has been there a long time.
It's got to be 20 years
Nordstrom.
or more.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been there. I think I've been there one time in the last few years. I don't even remember why. I kind of stopped going to the Galleria a long time ago. I had a bad experience in a parking garage.
Really?
At the Galleria.
What happened? If I may ask.
Many years ago.
What happened?
Yeah. I was with my daughter who was in junior high. So this was a long time ago. And it was back to school shopping. It was a weekend, right before school started. And we were leaving the mall and walking into a parking garage. It was still daylight, but we were in a parking garage and had a very uncomfortable situation with a guy following us in the parking garage. And we made our way back to the one of the stores so that we wouldn't be alone, and asked somebody to walk with us to the car. And it was a group of young women who were walking out to their cars. And we explained, what had happened and why we wanted somebody to be with us. And one of these girls said, "I'll walk you out. I have a taser."
That's awesome. Yeah. I don't want to always think, bad things or danger or be paranoid or anything like that. But I am the guy that says, you ladies, sorry. You don't go for a walk without your pepper spray, ever.
Yeah.
You don't ever go without your pepper. Well, I couldn't get, it was on the keychain. No. You have to have it to go.
Yeah.
You just do.
Mm-hmm.
And 99, more than 99 times out of 100, it's not going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that one time, you can't wish that you had it with you
Yeah.
and not have it. You just can't. You got to have it. You got to know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Anyway, nothing against
Yeah.
Galleria. That was just my experience there.
Yeah.
But like I said, a couple of decades ago, and it just I don't have to go there. There are other places I can go
sure.
that are closer. But last day of business for Nordstrom at Galleria Dallas will be May 16th. Company didn't say why they're closing that store, but there are still two stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, one of them at Stonebriar Center and one at North Park. Also a bunch of Nordstrom rack stores, and you can get everything online. So they're concentrating on those outlets.
So take your pepper spray with you everywhere you go. That's my advice.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Wilder Show podcast. One thing I didn't mention earlier, find us on Facebook. We have a private group you'll request to join and be happy to let you in. On Instagram, search Wilder Show Pod. Email, you know that, podcast@wildershow.com. The podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, on the TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts. Would you like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share? And we appreciate that. And Lauren, thank you.
You bet.
And we'll see you next time.
Da 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 Thank